Tonight, charges filed. The man who pulled the trigger in a fatal weekend shooting on the Fond du Lac Reservation is now facing murder charges.
And what's going on with Duluth's warming center? We're learning it won't be open for the city's homeless population after only being open for a single winter.
Plus, how safe is the ice? It's forming, but experts say you might want to wait a little bit longer to start ice fishing.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, we're learning a night of drinking with friends led up to a man fatally shooting his friend on the Fond du Lac Reservation over the weekend.
42-year-old Thomas Mickelwright made his first appearance in court this morning. The Brevard Township man has been charged with second-degree murder for allegedly shooting his friend while the two were drinking. CBS3's Caitlin Moffitt sat in on the hearing today. She joins us in studio to tell us what happened that night. Caitlin.
Yeah, Kristen and Tony. Authorities say Mickelwright fatally shot 65-year-old James Couture the same night he was hosting him and his wife at their home. According to court documents, authorities responded to Mickelwright's home on the 3200 block of Brevard Road in Cloquet around 5 a.m. on Saturday. Authorities say Mickelwright's wife made the call to 911, and while she was on the phone, he admitted to intentionally shooting Couture with a .40 caliber pistol. Upon arrival at the home, law enforcement were able to detain the defendant without incident and secured the scene. Authorities found Couture dead in Mickelwright's kitchen. A medical examiner ruled his death to be a homicide. Court documents say a preliminary breath test was administered to Mickelwright at 11 a.m., which was 6 hours after the 911 call was initiated. The results of the test revealed an alcohol concentration of .20. Now, it's still unclear what made Mickelwright shoot Couture. His bail is set to $125,000 and is due back in court on December 3rd.
Thanks, Caitlin. Meanwhile, a Hibbing man will spend 25 years in prison for murder. Anthony House had learned his fate in court today. The 21-year-old pleaded guilty to aiding in the death of Joshua LaValle. LaValle's body was found on the Mesabi Trail near Hibbing last January. There are two other defendants in the case. Deshaun Bunnell was sentenced to life in prison last month. He fired the shot that killed LaValle. 17-year-old Bailey French was allegedly with Bunnell at the time. She's expected to be in court next month.
A Duluth man will spend 13 years behind bars for a brutal attack on the same day he was released from prison. The attack happened in the Lincoln Park neighborhood in July. Authorities say Daniel Kriesel assaulted a woman with several household items. The victim told police Kriesel was mad when he got out of prison and she wasn't home.
Well, there was a pretty big traffic backup on the Blatnick Bridge today, headed into Superior. A crash backed up traffic around 2:30 this afternoon in the Superior bound lanes. No word if anyone was hurt.
Quick thinking helped put out a small fire at Duluth's North Shore Theater today. The city says workers were warming up caulking when the small fire broke out. Part of the building was evacuated during the fire, which was quickly put out. No damage was reported.
The lights should be back on for roughly 5,000 people in Superior who spent the afternoon in the dark. The Minnesota power outage was first reported around 3:30 this afternoon. A spokeswoman for the company said an equipment failure at the Winter Street substation caused the outage. They will need to replace some of that equipment. Well, we've already seen temperatures dip below zero this season.
And that means people without a home are looking for places to stay warm overnight. Tonight, we're learning Duluth City Center West Warming Center, which opened for the first time last year, will not be open again this year. According to officials with Chum, that's largely because the building's sprinkler system isn't up to code and because Chum officials felt it wasn't safe to have people there.
The Grand Avenue Warming Center was a pilot project between Chum, the city, and St. Louis County. It opened last winter when temperatures dropped below zero. But as one door closes, several others are expected to open. CBS3's Emma Quinn joins us live outside of Chum in downtown Duluth. Emma, it sounds like people will have a couple of options when it comes to staying warm this year.
Kristen, Tony, Chum, and St. Louis County are working together to find new spaces to use as warming centers. One of those include Chum's drop-in center. Now, Executive Director of Chum, Lee Stewart, says they plan to have that drop-in center open overnight whenever the temperatures fall below 10 degrees. It's located on the 100th block of North 1st Avenue West, and the temperature threshold for opening is slightly higher than the 0 degrees City Center West opened at last year. Stewart says that's because they felt 0 degrees was just too cold.
We're very happy that the St. Louis County Commissioners have voted funding to help us do this. Starting at 10 degrees this year, last year was 0, so moving to 10 we think is a really good plan.
Gloria Day Lutheran Church also plans to open as a warming center this year. They haven't nailed down officials' details just yet. The church's pastor says they plan to work on that next week, including discussing what temperature they would open their doors at. Now, Chum officials say they hope to have those centers open by next week, and Gloria Day officials say they hope to have theirs open by December 1st.
And Emma, what do we know about options for people across the bridge in Superior?
So, Tony, in Superior, there is the Ruth House, which is located in Superior, and that house actually just moved to a new location, which is about 3 times the size of the initial building, and so they open their doors when temperatures drop below 20 degrees.
All right, good information to have. Thanks, Emma.
Well, speaking of weather, let's check in with Dave for a quick look at what's going on tonight. Hey, Dave.
Hello there, you guys. Well, we've got a battle going on in the atmosphere between high pressure trying to come in and low pressure dragging its heels on the way out. The mixture tonight is going to result in a couple of periods of a clearer sky filled in by clouds. And when the clouds are around, there's a slight chance for a couple of spotty snow showers. That shouldn't add up to anything. But slowly, in general, the process will be for clearing tonight, setting us up for a partly cloudy sky tomorrow. So as you get the kids out Friday, it may still be a little bit cloudy. Temperature of 17 above is pretty nice, though, compared to what we've had. Then we could actually get towards 30 degrees by the afternoon. Sunshine Friday. It ends with Friday, just like things stay in Vegas. By Saturday, the weather will change. We'll talk about where we'll go coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, as Dave just mentioned, it's been cold this past week, and it's no surprise some people are already out ice fishing on the inland lakes.
Yeah, but with early ice fishing comes some dangers. Just this week, 11 ice fishers got stranded in dangerous conditions when the ice they were on floated away from shore.
That happened on Upper Red Lake in Beltrami County. CBS3's Alex Libby spoke with professionals and anglers about this year's early ice and the dangers of fishing this time of year.
Some people get a little territorial about fishing, but I just think it's a fun, healthy activity.
And thanks to the recent cold snap, longtime angler Trad Grant was able to get out on the lake earlier than in years past.
This is non-typical for this year. I definitely was not ice fishing by this time last year.
Grant also knows the risks that come with early season fishing, but his father taught him an easy way to know when the ice is safe.
Generally, the rule of thumb that he always said to me was that, you wait until you see a few guys out on the ice and then wait a few more days.
Experts say wait until there's at least 4 inches of ice before walking out on your favorite frozen lake. And if you're unsure how thick the ice is, head down to the local outdoors store.
Yeah, but I think, just going down to places like Marine General, Charlestrom's, and just talking to people and getting some info.
Talking with Eric Hall, a salesman at Marine General, he warns what lakes not to go out on early in the season.
I would say any of the deeper lakes or lakes with current.
But if you are prepared and check the ice conditions, fishing this time of year can be very rewarding.
Early ice is usually a good time to be out there if it's safe.
The Minnesota DNR says wait until there's at least 5 inches for things like snowmobiles, 8 to 12 for small cars, and at least 12 for pickup trucks.
Experts say if you do fall through the ice, stay calm, focus on keeping your head above the water, and stay horizontal. Once you get out, don't stand up and walk away. Instead, crawl or roll across the ice.
Well, tonight you have a chance to learn about a couple of bridge projects set for Lake County. MnDOT's open house will focus on the Highway 61 bridge projects at Silver Creek and Stewart River. Both bridges are located northeast of two harbors. Construction is set for 2021 and 2022. The open house is from 5:30 to 7 o'clock tonight. It's being held at the American Legion, Post 109 in Two Harbors.
Young farmers flocked to Lake Superior College to learn what they can do to run a successful farm in the Northland. The Department of Agriculture held an informational listening session for emerging farmers across northeastern Minnesota. Dozens of aspiring farmers were there to learn how to overcome the many barriers that farming in the Northland may bring. Future farmer Julie Allen says there is one barrier that can be crossed with the help of the public.
Support your local farmer and, you know, educate yourself and eat local all year.
Minnesota's Department of Agriculture's commissioner was also at today's listening session.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, as the temperatures drop, cabin fever may be hitting your kids. In this week's Eye on Parenting, we'll tell you how to burn off all that extra energy.
And in today's Eye on Weather, we have a short-lived, hopefully or unhopefully, whatever your opinion is, of a warm spell coming our way. Today we crossed the 30-degree threshold after a cold snap. How long will we be warm? We'll let you know coming up after our break.
CBS3 News is brought to you by Duluth Casino.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Dr. Ayan Sudo tells us about Essentia Health's orthopedic urgent care, which provides initial treatment and management for an acute injury.
Orthopedic urgent care is similar to urgent care except with a musculoskeletal focus. So we mostly see acute injuries, sprains, strains, some minor fractures, things like that. We have x-ray on site to say is it broken, is it not broken. After the initial evaluation and after we figure out is this something that's broken, if it's not broken, is there a sprain, is there a strain, from there we can refer the patient on to physical therapy. We can send them to medical orthopedics or the sports medicine. We could send them on to the orthopedic surgeon if needed, or wherever else that they need to go for follow-up. The nice thing with this ortho urgent care is that it's an extension of our already robust orthopedics department at Essentia Health.
Orthopedic urgent care offers convenient hours designed to match busy lifestyles. No appointment is required.
It's another alternative to going to the urgent care or going to the emergency department or waiting for an appointment, you know, the next day. Certainly we are available to be able to look at some of the musculoskeletal issues pretty quickly. Helps people get an answer. Is this something, can I play my game in 4 days, or am I going to be looking at this as the end of my season? People get injured more so, you know, not only between the hours of 9 and 5, they, you know, certainly get injured after that too. So I think it's very helpful if you fall off your bike, if you fall on your skis, if you trip on a curb, if you slip on ice that we have 6 months out of the year. You know, you can be seen pretty quickly.
Orthopedic urgent care is located across from the Miller Hill Mall. For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
This Medical Insight was brought to you by Essentia Health. To learn more about the services we offer, visit essentiahealth.org.
I love that one.
I love it.
I love it.
It's easy to fall in love with a new Chevy.
I love this one too.
And this month is the perfect time to see why.
Wow. I love it.
That's my next truck.
Find your reason to fall in love with a new Chevy and get a great deal all month long.
I love it.
I'm gonna go buy a Chevy.
Get 19% below MSRP on all 2019 Silverado Crew Cab pickups. That's over $9,700 on this Silverado. Or during the Black Friday sales event, get 20% below MSRP on other select 2019 models.
Have you heard anything about a missing Hispanic boy?
Where did you hear about that?
So there is a murder?
3 murders.
Bridget,
Have the decency to call me by my name.
hello, Howard.
Tell me about Enrique.
I guess I didn't bury him deep enough.
Now what?
Well, that depends if you think a demon killed 3 kids or that woman did.
I don't believe in demons.
Me neither.
You mentioned details that were not released by the police. That makes you vulnerable.
Do I need a lawyer?
Do you?
A New Evil, tonight 10/9 Central on CBS.
CBS3 Weather is brought to you by Nicolay Law Office. Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
After our mini cold snap, now it looks like a mini warm spell is coming our way, and the process began today with some towns crossing the threshold, daring to go to 30 degrees above zero, like here in the Twin Ports at the head of the lakes. 32 in Superior, 30 for Moose Lake, 30 for Solon Springs, and the other towns pretty close in the upper 20s. We could be tickling 40 over the weekend, and that, in turn, could bring us a little bit of trouble, especially Saturday night through portions of Sunday with a rain and snow mix that could slick up the roads. We'll talk about the odds in just a bit. Right now, we talk about what's happening at the airport. It's 31 degrees there, so I have a feeling the almanac will have to be updated by 10 o'clock. We went to 11, as they say in that Spinal Tap movie. Westerly winds going 17 miles per hour right now, and the air pressure trying to creep up right now at 30.09. Again, we've got low pressure leaving as a high pressure comes aboard, so it'll be a mixed bag between cloud and clear sky as we go on through the night. Current temperatures, 28 Watersmeet, 30 Ironwood and Ashland, close to 30 for Hayward, 31 in Superior and towards Hermantown now, 27 International Falls and Ely as well. Getting towards 30 for Moose Lake, Barnum, and Willow River. A sign, of warmer air coming our way for a couple of days, several actually. By this time next week, maybe we'll start to dip down again, but from now until then, at least normal, if not a little bit warmer than normal. Right now, Doppler Outlook says one of those low pressure systems is still to our north. At the same time, the higher pressure is trying to come in, so the result should be some clouds tonight, maybe a couple of snow showers, but they will give up the ghost probably fairly early tomorrow morning as the higher pressure systems flanking our region take over. But they won't take over for long. Friday may be sunny, but by Saturday it gets cloudy again, and 30 to 50% chances now for rain-snow mixes come, like I mentioned, Saturday night, and then maybe sticking around for several days afterwards. We'll show you those days now with the forecast tonight in Minnesota. Low temps could get as cool as 11 near the border and be as warm as 16, 17 closer to the lake. Slowly clearing sky. Wisconsin, Michigan, range of low temps there about 18 to 20. For tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, the high pressure takes over, clear to partly cloudy sky. High temps running, we'll say 26 to 30 degrees. And into Minnesota, inland, anywhere from 21 to 30. And right by the lake, maybe low 30s, again with that partly cloudy sky. For the rest of the week, well, the clouds fill back in as that new low pressure system comes to call. It's really just a 20% chance for the mix on Saturday with a high of 38. Sunday, though, at least a 50% chance for the mix, high temp 36. Easing into Monday, the clouds still linger. Precip chances of 30% shot for the mix. That's the day we could get closest to 40. I'm thinking 39 here at the head of the lakes, and of course, give or take a degree or two, we could cross 40. Then 36 on Tuesday with a 40% chance for a mix again. And then the warm spell starts to slip away for Wednesday, Thursday. Temperatures tumble just a little bit, but precip chances linger. They'll just change form. They'll become chances for flurries. Right now, as far as accumulations go for anything, doesn't look like much. But again, Kristen, as we found out last Friday, it doesn't take much to make the road slippery. So we need to be careful for 6 of the next 7 days.
We'll be sure to do that. Thanks, Dave. Well, even though the first day of winter isn't for a couple of weeks, it sure does feel like it is lately.
Yeah, and the cold temps are prompting some parents to keep their kids inside, building up a lot of that energy. In this week's Eye on Parenting with Leanne Valdez, we take a look at how the city of Duluth is helping provide a warmer option for kids to play inside.
Judy Swedberg, a Duluth preschool and early childhood teacher, knows how important it is for children to meet their daily exercise requirements.
In order to learn and develop, they need to move. They need to move their bodies every day.
But Duluth weather can sometimes keep the little ones inside.
Every day, ideally, kids need to be outside in nature, but there are times in Duluth when, of course, they cannot.
That's why Duluth Parks and Recreation decided to collaborate with the Early Childhood Program at Washington Center to give families a warmer alternative. And Swedberg says it offers more than just warmth.
It offers kids a chance to actively choose their play and gain independence.
Along with the chance for active play, it also creates relationships between parents who some are yearning for.
One of the issues is isolation. You know, being alone with your child all the time is not an easy thing. It can be really hard, and this offers a chance to be out in the community.
The play gym does come with a fee, $1 per person. Parks and Rec manager Jessica Peterson says their team helps fund the equipment used at the gym, and the money collected goes back to the city to help with other programs. Both the Duluth Parks and Rec and the Early Childhood Program want to make sure everyone can afford the safe space, so there is a general assistance fee program families can apply to.
And we're always happy to talk to residents and answer any questions that they have if and when cost is ever a barrier to their participation, so that we can continue to be as equitable and accessible as possible to the community.
If you'd like to check out the Play Gym this winter, they're open on Wednesday and Fridays from 9 to 11 a.m.
Kelly's here to talk a little bit about sports.
Football.
Football.
One Northland team remains hoping to get to the Prep Bowl down at U.S. Bank Stadium. Mountain Iron Buell had a tough test on their hands. We have coverage from the bank coming up next.
Get your new Ski-Doo snowmobile at Duluth Lawn and Sport.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota. New state-of-the-art dealership. Same President's Award-winning service. KohlerToyota.com.
Schneiderman's helps you celebrate life's special moments. So long, Kids Table. Save 25% plus 48-month financing during the Veterans Day sale at Schneiderman's Furniture.
Here's this week's CBS3 Game Day lineup. Brought to you by Kohler Hyundai. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
It's a holiday hoopla at Fond du Lac Casino. Every Wednesday and Thursday in November, including Thanksgiving from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. 25 names will be randomly drawn to play for holiday cash and prizes. You could jump into the money booth, play the disco board, or take a spin on the big prize wheel. Stop by the Players Club or log on to FondDuluthCasino.com for all the participation details. Wednesdays and Thursdays, come in for the games, cash, and prizes of the holiday hoopla and
have a great time out at Fond du Lac.
Cat Country 98.9 has a new morning show with JD and Brooke every weekday morning from 6 till 10. Duluth Superior's live and local morning show. JD and Brooke in the morning. The hottest country all day in the Northland. Cat Country 98.9.
Wouldn't it be great to see your windows in a new light? Let the local experts at Budget Blinds of Duluth help do it right. We make it easy with thousands of designs and possibilities, like our drapery, providing you with the widest selection of curtains, drapes, and other soft window treatments, all of which can be customized to match your unique style. Budget Blinds of Duluth, style and service for every budget. Locally owned and operated by the Pearson Brothers.
Oh yes, I remember. It was on Christmas Eve many years ago. I was on my way to my grandparents' house in Duluth. We were on a train.
And the train became snarled in a horrific storm. Everyone feared that Christmas would be lost. But what the little girl and train conductor did next saved Christmas for everyone. This is the Christmas City Express, a train ride and storytelling experience on the North Shore Scenic Railroad in Duluth. Tickets and information at DuluthTrains.com. The Christmas City Express is your ticket to fun holiday memories for your entire family.
All aboard!
I guarantee you, if your home just burned to the ground or you had a major accident, your first thing you got to think about, it's not going to be, I just saved $500 on my auto and home insurance today. It's going to be, am I covered? At Vernon Insurance Agency, our first, second, and third goal is that you understand your coverage, there's no gaps in coverage, and your claims are covered when you have them. Call Vernon Insurance Agency today, 218-384-3970.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS3 Duluth.
Schneiderman's helps you celebrate life's outrageous moments. More room for the king of the castle. Save up to $800 on select Beauty Rest Black adjustable sets during the Veterans Day sale at Schneiderman Sleep.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
We're heading back down to the bank. It's state semifinal day for the Mountain Iron Buell football team. The Rangers were looking to represent the whole Iron Range down in Minneapolis today. CBS3's Neil Viersbo was at their game this morning and has more.
For the second season in a row, the Mountain Iron Buell football team has made it to the 9-man state semifinals. But this year, they're hoping for a different result as they saw their season come to a close in the same game last year. Now, let's get to those highlights. The Rangers facing off against Hancock with a trip to the Prep Bowl on the line. Very first drive of the game, MIB knocking on the door. Quarterback Asher Zubich tries to punch it in, but the ball is loose. No worries, though, because teammate Dylan Drake recovers it in the end zone. 6-0 Rangers. Second quarter, Rangers now trailing 14-6 on the kickoff. Dylan Drake, he gets it on the reverse, finds a lane and breaks a few tackles. No one's catching him. 2-point try is good, and once again, 14-14 tie ball game. For every score MIB had, it always seemed like Hancock would answer as they took a 30-14 lead at the half. Second half, Rangers would let up 3 scoring drives, but they still wouldn't back down. Zubich to Nick Yesh. He gets 1 foot in there. Rangers cut the lead to 24, but once again, the Owls find a way to answer. Tyler Timmerman has the corner, and he's in. It's 58-26 to Owls at that point. But MIB season ends 65-32, the final.
Last year I said we'll be back, and I'll be honest, I didn't know it would be this quick with only 3 seniors, but this guy right here, I mean, unbelievable. I've never coached anybody with as much heart as this guy. He just doesn't quit. You would think when you tell people to block, tackle, till the whistle, it's pretty simple, right? But it doesn't happen. This guy, he's unbelievable. That's why he's going to be playing college football. And the guys we got coming back, we have 11 talented freshmen and 6 sophomores and a couple juniors. So, I mean, hopefully we make it back again next year.
Now, as Coach said, they graduate 3 seniors this spring and return a number of key young players. So we very well could see these Rangers back here in the state tournament. At US Bank Stadium, I'm Neil Viersbaugh.
All right, thank you, Neil. They certainly will have the experience to return next year. MIB finishes 10-2 overall with another Section 7 9-man championship. Dylan Drake finishes with the all-time record for sacks and tackles. Guys, he's technically a running back for loss in the Minnesota State High School League, and this is the team's 2nd straight trip to US Bank Stadium. They certainly stayed in that game. Yeah. I mean, you could see it by the highlights, so a lot to hang their hats on.
Absolutely. Anytime an Iron Range school makes it to the state tournament, no matter what sport we're talking about, the whole area just feels so much pride for them. So, way to go, MIB.
Thanks, Kelly.
Well, before we go, some good news for ski and snowboard lovers. Mont du Lac Resort opened its hills at 4 o'clock today. They'll stay open until 8 o'clock tonight, offering free lift tickets along with half-price equipment rentals. Other resorts in the area are planning to open soon as well. Lutzen is opening on Saturday, and Spirit Mountain plans to start their lifts next weekend.
Might have to dust off the old skis this year. I haven't done it in a few years.
Do it.
I might.
Wear a helmet.
Dave, we got any more snow in the forecast?
Well, it's 1980, I think, the last time I strapped on my old cross-country skis and went out the trails around the Ely area near Hidden Valley, another one of our great ski areas around the region. Now, from MIB to CEC and every town in between, our 7-day forecast is calling for a brief clearing period on Friday, where it'll be clear to partly cloudy and 30 degrees, which sounds pretty nice, but the normal's around 37, 38. So we get to that come Saturday, though, along with clouds and a chance for a rain-snow mix that may become a bit slippery, especially on Sunday morning. So drivers have to be careful for the weekend, and a bit of a mix and some flurries will continue for the rest of the week, though the warm spell that's coming our way does start to fade away by midweek next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here at 10.